Last episode, we learned the journey from an idea to a legal company in general terms. Now we get specific. If you live in India and you want to start your own private limited company, what does it actually take? In this episode, we'll walk through the whole process step by step, every document you'll need, the modern online system that runs it all, the timeline, and the cost. By the end, the path from idea to incorporated company will be completely clear. A quick note before we start. This is educational, and rules do change, so always check the latest on the official portal or with a professional before you file. Let's start with the big picture, because it's good news. Years ago, registering a company in India was genuinely painful. A stack of separate forms, each for a different step, filed one after another. Today, that's almost all gone. The process is now run online by the government's Ministry of Corporate Affairs, the MCA, through their portal, and nearly everything happens through a single integrated form with a friendly name, SPICE Plus, spelled S-P-I-C-E Plus. Think of SPICE Plus as an all-in-one application. In one place, it bundles together reserving your company name, the actual incorporation, the director identification numbers, your company's PAN and TAN tax registrations, and several other registrations too. One form doing the work that used to take many. That's the modern Indian system, and it's what the rest of this episode walks through. Step 1. Since the entire process happens online, there's no paper to physically sign, so every form has to be signed electronically instead. For that, each proposed director needs something called a Digital Signature Certificate, or DSC, specifically a Class 3 DSC. Think of it as the secure, legally valid digital equivalent of your handwritten signature. It proves that it really was you who signed and submitted the documents. You obtain a DSC from a government-authorized certifying agency. Names you'll come across include Emudra, SIFI, and NSDL. This is genuinely the first practical thing you do, because without a valid DSC, you can't sign or submit anything that follows. So, secure your digital signatures first. Step 2. Claim your company's name. Inside the SPICE Plus form, there are two parts, A and B. You begin with Part A, which is all about reserving your name. Here's the catch. The name must be genuinely unique. It can't be identical or even confusingly similar to a company that already exists or to a registered trademark. A smart tip. Before you file, search the MCA portal for existing companies and check the trademark database too. A few minutes of searching can save you a rejection. Once you submit, name approval usually comes through in about 2 to 4 working days. And if your first choice is rejected, you typically get one chance to resubmit a new name. Get this right, and you've claimed your company's identity. Step 3. The incorporation itself, which happens in Part B of SPICE Plus. Once your name is approved, you should file Part B within 20 days. Miss that window, and the reserved name lapses, and you'd have to start the name step again. In Part B, you enter the real details of your company, who the directors are, who the shareholders are, and the address of your registered office. Now, here's a piece of genuinely modern convenience. Every director needs a unique ID called a DIN, a Director Identification Number. In the past, you applied for that separately. Today, if a proposed director doesn't already have a DIN, it's allotted automatically inside this very form. Up to 3 directors can receive their DIN through a single SPICE Plus filing, with no separate application at all. one form, and your directors are identified. Step 4. The founding documents, and these are the heart of your company. There are two. The first is the Memorandum of Association, the MOA. It defines what your company fundamentally is and what it's permitted to do, its objects and its scope. The second is the Articles of Association, the AOA. This is the internal rule book, how decisions get made, how directors are appointed, how the company is actually governed day to day. In the modern system, you file these electronically as the EMOA, Form INC 33, and the EAOA, Form INC 34, both signed with your digital signature. We called these a company's legal DNA last episode, and that's exactly right. They're filed alongside SPICE plus Part B and become part of the permanent public record. Take real care with them. Let's get practical about paperwork. While the forms run the process, you'll need a set of supporting documents ready before you start. For every director and shareholder, you'll need a PAN card and an identity proof such as Aadhaar. You'll need a recent passport-size photograph. You'll need an address proof, typically a utility bill or a bank statement, and usually one that's not older than 2 months. And for the company's registered office, the official address of the business, you'll need proof of that address, along with either a rent agreement or a no-objection letter, an NOC from whoever owns the premises. Gather all of these up front, scanned and clear, and the filing itself becomes smooth. Scrambling for a missing document mid-process is the most common cause of delay. Step 5. The payoff. Once you've filed everything, the Registrar of Companies reviews your application. If it's all in order, the Registrar issues your Certificate of Incorporation. This is the moment everything has been building toward. It's the official birth certificate of your company, signed proof that it now legally exists. And here's a wonderful piece of modern efficiency. Your company's PAN and TAN, its core tax registrations, are generated automatically at the same time. And the whole package, certificate plus PAN and TAN, simply arrives in your email inbox. No separate trips, no extra applications. The instant that certificate lands, your idea is officially a company. And note, the image you're seeing is an illustrative recreation, not a real certificate. Let's talk money and time, because these are the two questions everyone actually asks. On cost. Encouragingly, the government charges no incorporation fee at all for companies with authorized capital up to 10 lakh rupees. You will still pay state stamp duty, which varies by state, and your real out-of-pocket costs are usually the digital signatures and, if you choose to use one, the fees of a professional, a chartered accountant or company secretary, to handle the filing for you. On time, from start to finish, the whole process today typically takes around 7 to 10 working days, assuming your documents are all in order. And a practical note, while you can absolutely file it yourself, most founders use a professional. It's entirely optional, but it noticeably reduces the chance of errors and rejections that cause delays. Remember, fees and rules can change, so always confirm the current position before you file. Let's bring it all together. 1. India's company registration is now almost entirely online, run by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs through a single integrated form called SPICE Plus. 2. Step 1 is getting a Class 3 digital signature, a DSC, for each director, so they can sign electronically. 3. In SPICE plus Part A, you reserve a unique company name, and in Part B, you actually incorporate. And that's where each director's DIN is allotted automatically. 4. You file your founding documents, the Memorandum and Articles of Association, the MOA and AOA. And 5. Once the registrar approves everything, you receive your Certificate of Incorporation, with your PAN and TAN issued automatically alongside it, and the whole thing typically takes about 7 to 10 working days. From idea to incorporated company. So that's India. One national portal, one integrated form, a fairly streamlined path. But the United States does this very differently. There's no single national system. Instead, you register state by state. And famously, some American states are dramatically faster and friendlier to business than others. Why is that? And which states do founders flock to? That's exactly where we go next, as we register a company in the United States. This is the market story, from the basics all the way to advanced, one story at a time. If this made the real process of starting a company in India finally make sense, please hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, and it's the single biggest way you help this channel grow and reach more people just starting out. Drop a like so others can find it, and tap the bell so the next episode comes straight to you. See you there.